few weeks ago, the Padres created what I call the ultimate baseball moment, one that encapsulates the best things that baseball has to offer. A moment that is now a unique part of franchise history, one that received one hell of a call from the booth, one that riled up an electric fan base and propelled an electric young team, one that was the effect of a risky strategy, one featuring the unlikeliest of heroes overcoming insurmountable odds, and one highlighting the idea that the rarest things in sports happen in baseball. It's far from the greatest moment in baseball history, but if we look close enough, it can remind us about what makes baseball great. The keystones of a great baseball moment. The matchup. In the case of a moment that's independent of defense, who's on the mound and who's at the plate can make a relatively simple outcome seem extraordinary. The story. Is there a special story that brought these players to where they are? Everyone likes to root for an underdog, or someone that's just easy to root for. The odds. What do we expect to happen, and how far does reality deviate from our expectations? Shock factor adds exponential amounts of excitement to any outcome and has made for some of baseball's most memorable moments. The history. How unique was this event in the context of a team or even the league's history? Historical moments tend to be special ones and can even warrant new takeaways the longer it's relevant. For this so-called ultimate moment, we don't have to go back 40 years, 4 months, or even 4 weeks, but rather only as recently as July 8th, 2021. The inspiration for this video came from a simple observation. One of the simplest and most fundamental ideas in baseball, but still pretty major if you really try and appreciate it. It doesn't matter how good a pitcher is or how bad a hitter is. Pedro Martinez could be facing Charlie Morton, and Charlie Morton could homer off of him. There are just so many ways a single plate appearance can play out. In basketball, you could shoot a 3-pointer, a 2-pointer, or a free throw. Basketball's scoring mechanism is one small, stationary ring located 10 feet above the court. It doesn't move. You're pretty much guaranteed to see a little less than 200 scores for every one game of basketball you watch. In baseball, scoring comes less frequently, but there are also a ton of different ways you can do it. You could score via an error, a walk, a wild pitch, a single, double, triple, 2-run homer, 3-run homer, grand slam, each to any part of the outfield, an inside the park homer, a bases loaded hit by pitch, a safety squeeze, a suicide squeeze. There are tons of ways it can go down.
This is so good. Oh my goodness!
Baseball by nature allows for many different outcomes, but baseball also, more than any other sport by far I think, allows for the impossible. The outcomes you least expect from the players you least expect to see them from. It can happen at any point of any game. Now for deciding on which moment best drove these kinds of ideas home, the first that came to mind was, of course, Bartolo Colon homering off of James Shields. You all know just how improbable and unbelievable that moment was, which is exactly why I didn't want to talk about it. That one's been beaten to death already. Turns out that not only did I not need to look that far back for a moment like this, but I didn't even need to look outside of Petco Park to find what I was looking for. On July 8th in San Diego, the Washington Nationals played the San Diego Padres and were leading 8-0 in the 4th inning. Washington's ace Max Scherzer was on the mound to defend their 8-run lead. A quick look at Max Scherzer's resume. A 3-time Cy Young Award winner, an 8-time All-Star, a World Series champion, the architect of 2 no-hitters, a few starts away from 3,000 career strikeouts, and the proud owner of 2 really cool eyeballs. The point is that there are very few pitchers you'd want more in there to defend an 8-run lead. So just how improbable was a 9-run comeback from the Padres to win this game? According to the win probability chart you can find on Baseball Reference, the Nationals enter the bottom of the 4th inning with a 98% chance of winning this game. So the matchup is partially set. A future Hall of Famer on the mound to defend an 8-run lead. First batter to face Scherzer was Fernando Tatis Jr., and he got San Diego on the board with his 28th homer of the year. The Washington lead was trimmed to 7. Scherzer then proceeded to hit 2 batters, give up a single, walk Will Myers, and these set the stage for the ultimate matchup. 6-time Pitcher of the Month winner Max Scherzer against Daniel Camarena. This was only the 2nd game of Daniel Camarena's Major League career. He was drafted by the Yankees, bounced around between New York, San Francisco, and Minnesota, and ended up with his hometown Padres in 2021. Daniel grew up just 20 minutes from Petco Park. He was a relief pitcher who made his first Major League appearance on June 19th and gave up 4 hits and 3 runs in 2 2/3 innings. He took over in relief on July 8th for Yu Darvish in the 4th inning of a 6-0 game and gave up 2 more runs, putting the Padres down by 8 going into the bottom of the 4th inning. Camarena was the 8th man due up in the bottom of the 4th. I doubt that fact crossed manager Jace Tingler's mind heading into the inning down 8-0 and the pitcher spot 8 batters away. With San Diego's bullpen taxed, Camarena was asked to bat for himself with the bases loaded and the Padres down by 6 runs. Throughout the entirety of his 8-year-long minor league career, Camarena had 5 base hits and 28 at-bats without a single run driven in. So the final matchup is set. The story, primed for potential history. Future Hall of Fame pitcher against a rookie relief pitcher in his first major league at-bat who's never driven in a run in his professional career. The odds of success for Daniel Camarena? Let's just say you don't need to be a statistician to know that it's very unlikely he finds success here. But as we know in baseball, anything is possible. The 5 runs Camarena had allowed on the mound in his first 3 2/3 innings in his career didn't matter. The fact that he was passed around in the minor leagues by multiple organizations for almost a decade didn't matter. The fact that he still had yet to ever drive in a professional run and was hitting as a relief pitcher against a 3-time Cy Young Award winner didn't matter. And why is that? Because this is baseball, baby. 5 years, 2 months, and 1 day after a 43-year-old, 285-pound sex icon did the impossible, rookie relief pitcher and San Diego native Daniel Camarena called his 1-in-a-million shot against one of the best pitchers of our time, and propelled the Padres to their largest comeback ever. And there's the history. Baseball is the greatest sport in the world.
Camarena to deep right field! Camarena plays it, San Diego! Are you kidding me? It's a grand slam! That's unbelievable!